Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Affirmation Addict podcast. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the process of visualization. In this world of law of attraction and manifestation, it's something that's heavily talked about, but sometimes we don't know what the process is or we have some questions about it. So what I'm going to do today is walk you through the process, and at the end, I will answer some of the questions I've gotten over time all about visualization. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure you listen until the end because your question might just be answered in this podcast. Hi everyone, my name is Pyle Agrawal and I want to welcome you to the Affirmation Addict podcast. Affirmations have changed my life, and now it is my mission to help you use them to change yours by using affirmations every day to manifest things your way. My goal is to make affirmations attainable and accessible to every single person, including you, because you have the ability to take control and create your reality. So come with me on my journey and let's see what we can manifest together. Hi everybody, how are you? I know it has been a very long time, and I say this every time because I put so much pressure on myself, and so from this point forward, I am just going to let it flow and not be apologetic if I can't record a podcast episode for 25 days because I am a one-woman show, well, with the help of Tom, of course, but I am basically a one-woman show at this point, and so I need to not spread myself too thin. And so the podcast is actually one of my favorite parts about the business, and it's so fun for me. So I do try and do it. But this past month, basically what I've been working on is finalizing the app. And I don't know if I've shared about it on the podcast, but basically the reason my business started and Affirmation Addict started was because I wanted to create an app for affirmations to make it easy for people to integrate into their daily lives and just a one-stop shop, because a lot of us get our inspiration and affirmations from social media, which is wonderful. And I think it's a great way to get it. But I'm more excited because this is like a one-stop shop outside of social media, and it'll allow you to kind of do your morning routine without having to go on social media. So that is really where the idea came from, and I'm so excited because I went completely all in on the app and got so much done for it finally. And so that's really where my time and attention has been allocated. And now, before I get started, one more announcement I have to make is I just want to shout out some of you guys who review my podcast because it means the absolute world to me. Your reviews help me help you guys, and you help me spread the word. And so one of the reviews I had is from He Sweetheart. Oh, He Stewart. Oopsies, that was my misreading. And they said, do yourself a favor and listen to this podcast. She is such a breath of fresh air. The podcast has amazing tips and tricks as well as Pyle is so fun to listen to. Thank you so much. That is such a sweet review. And so if you haven't already, please feel free to take a second if you're on the iTunes app and leave me a review because I love hearing what you guys like about it, and it really helps me spread the word. And also, if you are He Stewart, please send me a message on Instagram, and I would love to send you a little gift just as a thank you, because it means the world to me when you guys take the time out of your day to write a review and just comment, and that means a lot to me, and I don't want that to go unnoticed. I don't take any of your comments for granted, so thank you so much. And now I will officially start today's episode. And so, visualization. This is something that is so heavily talked about, so widely talked about, but sometimes we don't know what it is. And it's because it might sound too easy or it might sound too simple. And the truth is, it is that easy. So visualization, in my personal definition, is the process of basically adult daydreaming. It's imagining yourself and what you want to manifest as if it has already happened and really walking yourself through that day. If you listen to my journaling podcast, I talked a lot about scripting, which is writing down a day in your life as if your manifestation has already come true. So this is like a more imaginative way and a more visual way of doing it. And so the process is very simple. It's really just like a intentional process of imagining. So I'm going to break it down into 3 simple steps so you can take notes just so it's easy to process. And the first step is set your intention about what you want. What is it that you want to manifest? Make sure you know what you're trying to quote unquote visualize. The second step is to get in a comfortable position, get in a comfortable place. So close your eyes, get comfy. You can do it laying down. You can do it sitting up. You can do it honestly anywhere at any time. You can do it while you're walking around. I do it sometimes when I'm like walking around in nature because I kind of zone out while walking. And so then I start visualizing. And you can play music, you can light candles, essential oils, whatever really floats your boat and gets you feeling in a really nice and calm mood. And the third step is to actually visualize. All you really need to do is you can close or keep your eyes open and just imagine. It really helps to close your eyes. The opening your eyes visualization, that kind of comes later once you've done it a lot, but it's just closing your eyes and playing the scenarios out in your head. Like if you do it right now, take a second, close your eyes and just imagine yourself in your happiest state, or imagine yourself with your dream job or living in your dream city or going on that dream vacation. Just take a second right now, close your eyes and imagine that. And now, once you imagine that, normally some emotions are going to come up. And that's the feeling that everybody talks about with visualization, is try and feel those emotions. And that's actually just the steps of visualization. It's literally to set that intention of what you want to do, get comfortable, and start imagining. And those are the 3 steps. It's so simple, but we love overcomplicating things. And I think the hardest part for people is understanding how it actually works and why it's so powerful. Because it is just simply adult daydreaming. You can do it for a certain amount of time every day. You can have your own schedule with it. So now I'm going to go through and answer some of the most frequently asked questions I get about visualization. And the first one I want to dive into is how it actually works. So the way visualization works is you're creating these vivid images in your mind. And the reason it's so powerful is because your subconscious mind has no idea what the difference of reality versus non-reality is. Your subconscious mind has no idea what the difference is between if it's actually physically real or if you're just imagining it. And that's the core reason it is so powerful, because your brain will activate those same triggers, those same emotions, the same hormones, the same chemicals as if it were already happening. And the more physical you can get that feeling and the more physical you can make that manifestation feel already, the more likely you and your brain will think it's actually possible. The hardest thing with manifesting anything is we think it's out of reach, or we think it's impossible, or we don't know how it's going to get done, right? And so that's why visualization is so helpful, because it's a process that allows you to feel like it's within reach. It allows you to activate those same sensory emotions, sensory feelings, as if it were happening and as if it has already happened. And that's why they always repeatedly say, feel it as if though it's already happened. And the core reason is because our minds have no idea what the difference between reality and non-reality are. Your imagination is so powerful. Like, think about your dreams. Your mind thinks dreams are just as real as you doing what you're doing while you're awake. So your mind doesn't realize that dreams aren't actually real. And I know that sounds really crazy, but it's true. And that's why visualization is so, so powerful. And now the next question is, how long should we visualize? So I personally recommend, if you're starting out, I would start out for 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is a perfect amount of time. It's not too long. It's not too short. If you're starting out, do 10 minutes, but you can do longer or shorter. And as all of you know, if you've been listening to my stuff for a while, I never like giving hard deadlines or a certain amount of times that you have to do this or it's not going to work, because I don't think that's true. And I think that these rules are just suggestions, and what actually is best for you, you'll know inside. So you're not doing anything wrong in any of this. So definitely I recommend about 10 minutes to start off with, and you can do it longer, you can do it shorter. And then the next question is, how many times a day should you do it, or what time of day should you do it? Personally, I do it once a day, and sometimes I skip a day, and that's fine if I don't get time for it. And another thing you can really do is try it out in the morning. I think it's so powerful to practice it in the morning because you can set your intention for the day, and you feel so good when you start visualizing because it gets you so excited. It makes you feel so inspired that everything is really working out the way it needs to for you. And so when you do it in the morning, it's my favorite way to start my day. And actually, just in case you have questions about when I do my affirmations and all of this stuff, the next question is, how does it work in conjunction with the law of attraction and affirmations? This is just another supplement to it. It helps amplify the reality, and it helps doing it in conjunction with all of these things. So I literally do my affirmations the first thing when I wake up. I start saying them out loud. I brush my teeth, I get ready, and then I sit for a few minutes and visualize. That's the last thing I do before I officially start my day. And then the next question is, how do you handle your mind wandering and your thoughts floating around? This is similar to meditation, and with meditation as well, people just recommend just be aware of your thoughts. Don't be so hard on yourself. So if you do see your mind floating, just let those thoughts float by rather than focusing on the fact that that thought is occurring. Does that make sense? So if your mind does start to get distracted when you visualize, it's okay. Open your eyes again, reset your intention, and start over. Or let your mind float and gently bring your mind back to it. Just talk yourself through it. It's not a super serious activity. You should feel fun. You should feel those feelings. You should smell the smells you're trying to visualize and trying to experience. Like, get into this sensory experience of all 5 of your senses. You can laugh, you can cry, you can move around when you're visualizing. It's a whole body experience. The more you can get your body into it, the better. And another question I got is, how do I know if I'm doing it right? And this is probably the thing I get asked the most with affirmations and this and everything is, how do I know if I'm doing it right? I just need to be frank with you. You're not going to know unless you try, and there's no right or wrong way. Just be you and do what feels good to you. I am never going to tell you that you're doing something wrong. It might not be the process I practice, but it might work for you. These are not techniques and tools that are so hard and fast. These are all things that are based on energy, and your energy knows what's best for you, and that's never going to change. So you're doing it right just by trying, and that's all I can say. I know it's cheesy. I know it's not really answering your question, but if it feels good and it makes you smile, that's your best indicator of what is actually right for you. Whatever feels good to you is what's right for you. So don't get stuck in the self-criticism or the self-shame cycle, because that's just your thoughts and your lack of kind of self-trust coming out. Because you don't feel confident in visualization, you might not have experienced the beautiful benefits of visualization. You might not feel good while you're doing it, but just take a step back and let yourself just try it out as an experiment and have fun with it. And those are all of the main questions I had with visualization. And one thing I do really, really want to emphasize with this is it is such a super simple process, and it's just fun and playful. One thing I recommend doing if you kind of get stuck or you just feel really wrong, is what I really like doing if I don't know how to visualize or what to visualize. I start by scripting, which is that process I mentioned earlier. I start by writing down what I'm trying to visualize and writing down what I'm trying to manifest, because when I write it down, I have that story played out, and then it's easier for my mind to see that playing out visually. So if you don't know where to start, maybe start by scripting and then try visualizing. Another thing you can do is make that vision board. I'm a big proponent of vision boards. I think they're such a fun way to get your mind excited about what's coming your way and just get clear about what you want. So maybe you can make a vision board or look at some videos of things that you want. For example, if you are a traveler and you really want to manifest traveling, watch travel videos, watch hotel tours. You can watch like different travel movies that really help you excite those senses that need to be activated. If you're trying to manifest a dream job, maybe watch interviews with the people who you would be working with, or maybe watch interviews with that company's CEO. Get creative. Like, there's no rules to this, but just try and align yourself with that energy in one way or the other. That's just what visualization is. It's aligning yourself with the manifestation and with the results you want. Because the truth of the matter and what everything leads up to is the fact that there's no difference between who you are now and who you're going to be. It's just your perspective. So really, there's no difference between you right here, right now, and you once that manifestation is accomplished, and it's just bridging that gap. So if you can visualize yourself and start feeling as if that manifestation is already true through these techniques of visualization and affirmations, then you can have fun with it and feel like you're already that version of yourself who has that reality, because your manifestations are in process. They're energetically already real. The second your thoughts bring that into your mind, bring your manifestation into your mind, it's an energetic entity, like it exists. So get excited about the fact that these things exist and just play around with them and have fun with them and let your mind kind of process them in ways that gets you excited that you never knew of before. And so I hope you found this episode helpful. And if you did, I would love to hear your feedback, whether you share it on Instagram and tell me your biggest takeaway, or just send me a message, anything. I read all of your feedback. I read all of your messages and emails. I get so many throughout the day, but I do make time to read them and recap them just to make sure I am being aligned with what you guys really want and need from me. And if you made it this far in the episode, I wanted to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful you took time out of your day to spend some time with me, and I hope you were able to learn from this podcast episode. And if you were and you do try visualization, just let me know how it goes for you. It's a really fun, simple technique to try out, and I guarantee it'll just bring a little bit of a smile to your face, if nothing else. But it can also bring the most amazing things. So don't underestimate the power of visualization, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. And I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye. That's all I have for you guys, and I just want to say thank you again for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, head over to my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to my website if you want to subscribe to my email list, which is affirmation-addict.com. I cannot wait to hear from you guys, and I will talk to you guys super soon. Have a good one, you guys. Bye!